this is Sierra and welcome to another video. Today we're doing another chapter inside of Hermitcraft Season Clockwork. Today we are diving into Story 8, which perspective is Impulse, because that's what I wanted to do. I know he had a story perspective earlier, but I thought it would be fine doing it this way. Because, yeah, it's fine. Nobody's gonna cry over that, right? It's just a story. And sometimes the best perspective is a repeat. It's fine. Nobody's gonna be too mad about that, right? Chapter 1 within episode 30. Yes. And I'm sniveling. Impulse's eyes snapped open wide, as he stared up at the white ceiling above him. The vivid images of explosions and fire floating in his mind, alongside the distant roar of a helicopter and the screams of friends. He could feel his chest rising and falling as he tried to piece everything together, realizing he wasn't about to die. It's just all been a dream. He laid there for what felt like an eternity as he slowly calmed down from the ordeal, the mental haze fading as he remembered the terrifying night, the trap, the explosion, the pain, and the fear. The man had been hunting him down, relentlessly pursuing him. Nowhere was safe. Was he safe? Where was that man? Was he dead, or was he still dreaming? Not entirely sure. The tuber groaned as he attempted to sit up in bed, pain shooting from up his back, through his shoulder as he fell back onto the soft bed beneath him. He could hear movement from in the room as he looked over to see Jem getting to her feet, probably having been there for some time. "Mind if I help?" she asked gently as she approached the bed, her green eyes soft and concerned. "No, I don't mind," the YouTuber admitted quietly as she helped him sit up, propping up the pillows so he would be a little more comfortable as he leaned back onto them. The towel that had been over his chest had fallen onto his lap as Jem gently took it from where it had fallen and walked over to a chest. "Need anything? Something to eat? Something for the pain?" Jem asked quickly, opening the chest as she stored the towel away again. "Maybe a little bit of both," he said with a sigh as he looked down at the bed covers. The stitching was full and complete, weaving through the fabric as it held at least 2 layers together by a strong fiber of thread. "Well, that's easy enough to fix up," she mused with a chuckle as she took something else from the chest, closing it with her free hand as she carefully carried a bowl full of some sort of mushroom stew towards him. "What's that?" he asked warily, looking over at the entryway, wondering if someone was just lurking beyond, ready to strike at any moment. "Suspicious stew," she replied matter-of-factly, holding it out for him to take. "It should be safe to eat. I made it myself." "Okay," he replied with a small smile as he took the bowl, looking down for a moment as he saw the floating white petals. He could tell that they were daisies, not the lilies he'd been forced to consume when he'd been held prisoner by RJ. He carefully brought the warm bowl to his lips and sipped it, taking in the rich warmth of regeneration. Not sure where that sentence went. As it filled him, maybe. Well, the pain disappeared almost immediately as he consumed every drop. He returned the empty bowl to Jem as he glanced back at the door as he heard someone walking down the stairs, which creaked at every other step the person made. He didn't have time to think about who it possibly could be as Pearl stepped into the room. She smiled as she saw him. When she saw him, a friendly smile, a reassuring smile. "How's everything going down here?" Pearl asked Jem simply. "We're doing fine. Impulse just woke up," Jem said happily. "That's good," Pearl said with a nod as she returned her gaze over to him. "Feeling better after what happened last night?" "Hell happened last night?" Impulse asked in amazement. "Yeah," Pearl replied simply. "We heard Tango calling for help, so of course we came running. I'm glad you're both okay." "Where did Tango go? Was he hurt?" Impulse asked nervously. "He's fine," Jem said gently. "He was here with me last night while Mustang dealt with that man. You won't be able to do any harm to anyone for a while. You sure? Impulse that question with uncertainty. Yep, Pearl replied happily. There's at least one less thing to worry about. For now, anyway. Impulse nodded as he looked between the two girls as he pulled the covers back. He was already feeling stronger, thanks to the regeneration potion, though it had long since worn off. So what are we going to do? I'm not sure, Pearl admitted. Cyrus wanted to see if he could get in touch with your escort to see what was going on with him, and to see if he should return to help you. Right. Impulse sighed. I'm not sure I want him back after he abandoned me when I needed his help the most. I'm sure it was a misunderstanding or something, Pearl said cautiously, though she didn't sound at all convincing. People make mistakes. I'm sure we'll figure that out when we get there. I hope so, Tuber agreed. I don't want my house blown up again with me inside it if I can help it. Yeah, Jim replied quickly. The house wasn't hard to patch up, though. You should be able to go back when you feel well enough. I'm feeling fine, he replied simply as he pulled his legs from the bed onto the floor. I'm not sure I want to stay down here, seeing as there's only one way in or out. Can you walk? Jim asked nervously. I think I can manage, he replied with a smile as he stumbled to his feet, walking towards the stairs as the girls watched. Try not to overdo it, Impulse, Pearl warned. I'll be careful, he reassured them. I've been through worse. The girl said nothing as he arrived at the stairs and began his ascent, knowing they were right behind him as he took every step with a little more confidence than last. Chapter 2. The trio arrived at the top of the staircase as Impulse stepped out up into the hallway with the girls right behind him. He took in the small area as he began to hear voices back in the main room, familiar voices, as he tried not to think about it too much. Zayas must have returned by now, most likely finding his escort on his way. He wasn't sure if he was ready to see the man again. He walked down the hallway towards the staircase as he led up to the second floor. As he glanced into the main room for a brief moment, to see Matthias and his escort talking together in the middle of the room. The two escorts stopped talking when they saw him in the hallway, turning to look at the three of them. Well, hello there, Matthias said cheerfully. Good to see you're up and doing better, Impulse. Yeah, doing okay, Impulse admitted with a nod. See, I told you he'd be fine, YouTuber's escort argued lightly. He had people to count on to help. I didn't need to be there. He shook his head slowly. You forget that our jobs as protectors are meant to ensure that they don't need to seek out help from their friends. Gives them another option. The other man sighed. Well, we could sort that out another time. Impulse, you should come back with me to your base so we can go back to business. Actually, not quite yet, Matthias interrupted, before Impulse had a chance to respond. His eyes locked on the escort warily. The expectation in his eyes were clear. Why not? The other man snapped, pulling his eyes away from the YouTuber as he turned back to Matthias. For one, you did technically leave him unprotected for a significant amount of time, without letting us know, Matthias replied simply. We need to have a group meeting to decide whether or not we should let that stand. I groaned. Can't we do it either way? It would be easier if you were at home so I could do my job, perhaps. You can do it just as well here, where I know you can be safe, Matthias replied calmly. Till we are able to hear you out and know what's going on, I want to ensure the utmost security. Fine, the man sighed with annoyance. I don't see a problem here, though. I'm sure it wouldn't hurt to go back to his base and get started on other things. Impulse swallowed as he felt a hand on his shoulder, as he glanced back to see Pearl gesturing for him to follow her down the hallway. As they continued. Once they had arrived at the stairs, Impulse followed her upwards, glancing back to see Jem walking from behind, her jaw tightly clenched, looking forward as she managed to smile in his direction. They arrived at the second floor as Pearl led him to one of the spare rooms, opening it as she gestured for him to go inside. He didn't say anything as the three of them walked into the room, and he went to sit down on the bed. I wonder what was so important to just leave like that, without warning, Jim finally said at last, a bit bitterly. Impulse shook his head slowly. All I know is that the note said he'd be back before dawn. From what I could tell, he didn't even keep that, Jim said sourly. You deserve better. What more can we do, though? Impulse asked. It took weeks to find a replacement after losing Xavier. It could take even longer if the man decides to make things difficult. Maybe it won't ever happen. I'm sure there's someone out there who will be more than willing to lend a hand, Perlin reminded him gently. There are so many cause members out there. Someone will help. Just need to find them. Yeah, I know. The YouTuber sighed as he looked down at his feet, to the hardwood floor beneath. There was a woven rug in the middle of the floor, with green, blue, and purple threads seamlessly weaving around one another. I guess I've just been unlucky lately. Here's a turnaround, you'll see, Pearl said with encouraging smile. Besides, you still have friends here to help you if the worst case happens. Just like last time. We'll figure it out, Jim added confidently. You'll see. Yeah. He mused with a smile. Something tells me that guy is going to weave himself out of a whole lot of trouble, somehow. Yeah, I'm sure he'll try. Pearl chuckled before her expression shifted. I wonder why he was so quick to get you back home, though. That's a bit worrying. Maybe he doesn't like change, Impulse tried. Or he thought it might be safer because it were less of a target. Maybe, Pearl pondered thoughtfully before glancing over at Jem. It doesn't seem right, Jem admitted. Going off like that and acting like everything is fine when you just left the one person you were in charge of protecting to have to fend for themselves. Hopefully the other cause members see through it. Pearl agreed with a nod. It's not okay. It definitely makes him seem awfully suspicious. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see, huh? Impulse said with a sigh. Yep, Jim nodded. You should get some rest. You still have a bit of recovery time left. Not long? Yeah, not long enough. She smiled. Luckily, most of it was that potion effect and the explosion. You're going to be just fine in a day or two, so that's good, he nodded. I still got a lot of things I've always wanted to do, but haven't because, well, you got this, Pearl said with encouragement as he nodded, watching as the two girls left the room, closing the door behind them. He knew they wouldn't be far if he needed them. Plus, one of the more dangerous people in Mr. A's belt was behind bars. He could rest easy. Not too easily. There was still a long way to go yet before he could truly feel safe anywhere. That's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. And, yep. Thank you guys so much for watching. And, yeah, I will see you in the next one, whenever that might be. What do you think is going to happen? I guess we'll see. Goodbye.